I've now completed the first interaction with Amanda Bruner. Again, she is from South Carolina, which is in the South, and I'm from Illinois, which is the Midwest. We talked about our schooling experiences, elementary school to high school. The setting was very relaxed. We just went down to Case Hall Cafeteria, which is where we live, and talked over some tea and cookies. I was confident our interaction would go well before we even sat down. We've had some interactions on the floor before, and I figured she wouldn't think that this whole interview experience would be that weird. The actual talk went very, very smoothly. We found a lot of differences from our elementary school experiences to our high school experiences. And it was really cool going back and forth with her, like describing each experience or each difference in the experience. For example, I went to a much bigger school. I went to a school with about 4,000 students, and her school was about 1,400 students. So it was interesting to see how that the social aspect of our schooling was different. After I was really excited to spend even more time with her and talk a little bit more and let her know a little bit about the Midwest. The experience was a really positive one. I always find it interesting to hear about other cultures, and even though the South is in the United States and it's not that far away from us, it is a different culture, and it's interesting to hear about the little nuances and the little differences that we all experience in the same country, as well as other countries. I love hearing about them as well. The two schools are in the same country, but it's almost like different worlds. It felt pretty normal to share my experiences. Coming to college, that's basically all you're doing is you had your whole life wherever you were at home, and now you come and meet new people and you just share about your past and about like different things that you did in high school, especially high school, not so much elementary school, but if there's a really good story, you do it there. But it's just people sharing stories back and forth, and I think that's one of the reasons that I figured the interaction wouldn't be as weird, just because it's kind of normal to talk about high school and things you did, maybe not as in detail as we did, and like you don't usually have like the guiding questions, which is not bad, but it's not as like socially normal, I guess, but that makes the interaction special as it was. One of the biggest shockers I learned was the lack of bullying focus in her schools. That bullying was such a hot topic, even from elementary school into high school, that in my schooling experiences, I was so shocked that they didn't touch it at all in her school. She said it was never brought up. Her hot topics were abortion, abstinence, and gay marriage, which isn't that surprising because she went to a Catholic school, so clearly they were anti-abortion, pro-abstinence, and anti-gay marriage, which was never touched on in my high school because I feel like that would be too controversial. Whereas bullying, it was such an issue in the public school that they always made a focus of it. I think the main difference between our two schooling experiences was that she was in private and I was in public. I think that is the main reason that it was so different, like when we were talking, because they do things a little differently. Like they have uniforms and different rules and they enforce rules better and blah, blah, blah. And mine was kind of just like, yeah, you broke the dress code, but we're not going to do anything about it. Another thing is, because it's private school and they pay tuition and they pay a little extra, they got a little bit more like technology, and they got apparently this new multi-million parking garage for their football stadium because football is very big in the South and sports are in the South. But I found out that my school had more sports teams than her school. So maybe that's the difference again between the public and the private, because we had more kids, there was more opportunity to do more sports. I like to hear that the sports in her town are really important, because that is a similarity between my school and her school. Another similarity was some of the technology. We went one-to-one with our iPads in my high school, and hers did that as well. So that was interesting to hear that it mirrored I'm really excited for our next interaction. We're going to hopefully play in the snow if the snow sticks. There's some right now, so we'll see how that goes. See you next time.